Hello, families. Welcome to our journey of discovery. Today, we start with why it's essential to have laws that protect the environment. Now, you might ask, what are environmental laws? Well, in the simplest terms, environmental laws are rules and regulations that are created to protect our surroundings. They are like the school rules that make sure everyone is safe and happy. But instead of a school, they apply to our whole planet. These laws play a vital role in safeguarding the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the beautiful landscapes we enjoy. They are like superheroes, protecting us from things that could harm our world. For example, imagine if everyone threw their trash anywhere they liked, or companies released harmful gases into the air without any control. Our world would be a very dirty and dangerous place, wouldn't it? But thanks to environmental laws, activities like littering and causing pollution are not allowed. Here's an example. There's a law that says you can't just throw your trash in the river or the park. Why? Because it would make the place dirty and hurt the animals that live there. And we all love clean parks and happy animals, right? Similarly, factories and big companies have to follow certain rules too. They can't just release smoky fumes into the air or dump their waste into the rivers. If they do, they'll be breaking the law, and they could get into big trouble. So these laws are like a big shield, protecting our environment from things that can cause harm. They ensure our surroundings are clean and safe for all the creatures that live in it, including us. Environmental laws remind us that our actions affect the world around us. They help us understand that we have a big responsibility to take care of our planet. After all, it's the only home we've got. So, having laws to protect our environment ensures we have a clean, healthy world to live and play in. Isn't that something we all want? Ever wondered why some birds disappear during certain seasons? That's because they're on a long trip called migration. Migration is a bit like going on a holiday, but for animals. It's a journey they take from one place to another, usually when the seasons change. But instead of lounging on a beach or visiting famous landmarks, animals migrate for reasons essential to their survival. They might be off to find food, a safe place to have their babies, or to escape harsh weather. Picture this. Imagine you're a tiny hummingbird, and your favorite flowers to sip nectar from are no longer blooming because it's getting colder. What would you do? Well, you'd pack your tiny hummingbird bags and head off to a place where those flowers are still blooming, right? That's exactly what they do. They embark on a journey to warmer regions where food is abundant. This is one reason why animals migrate, to find food. Now let's consider another scenario. Imagine you're a sea turtle. When it's time to lay your eggs, you wouldn't want to do it just anywhere, would you? You'd want a place that's safe from predators and where your little ones can hatch peacefully. So, you journey hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles back to the beach where you were born to lay your eggs. This is another reason why animals migrate, to give their young ones a safe start to life. But here's the big question. How do animals know where to go? It's not like they have a map or a GPS system, right? This is where it gets really interesting. Animals use various cues from nature to navigate their way. Some birds, for instance, use the sun as a compass. During the day, they observe the sun's position and move accordingly. But what about at night, you ask? Well, many birds and insects look to the stars. They learn the patterns of the stars and use them to guide their way. And then there's the Earth's magnetic field. Yes, our planet is like a giant magnet, and some animals, like pigeons and sea turtles, can sense this magnetic field. They use it as a kind of map, helping them understand where they are and where they need to go. Isn't that incredible? So, whether it's a monarch butterfly fluttering thousands of miles to escape the winter, a humpback whale swimming across oceans to find warmer waters, or a caribou trekking through freezing snow to reach its calving grounds, every animal has its unique migration story. And each journey, no matter how challenging, is a testament to the remarkable instincts and resilience of these creatures. Animals are truly amazing, aren't they? Their ability to travel long distances to survive is fascinating. Next, let's chirp about bird songs. Birds don't just sing because they're happy. They use their songs to chat with each other. You see, bird songs are like a language, each one unique and full of meaning. let's start with the basics. Did you know that there are many different types of bird songs? That's right. Just like we have different languages, birds have different songs. Some are short, some are long, some are high-pitched, and some are low. Some birds even have a whole repertoire of songs. Now you might be wondering, why so many variations? Well, it's because birds use their songs for different reasons. One of the most common uses of birdsong is to attract a mate. Think of it as a bird's way of saying, "Hey, look at me! I'm strong, healthy, and would make a great partner." But it's not all about romance. Birds also use their songs to mark their territory. By singing loudly and clearly, a bird tells other birds, "This is my space, keep out." It's a bit like putting a no trespassing sign on your front lawn. Bird songs also act as an alarm system. When a bird spots a predator like a cat or a hawk, it will let out a specific call. This call is like a warning siren telling other birds, "Danger, danger, fly away." Now, how do birds learn these songs? Well, just like we learn to talk by listening to our parents, birds learn to sing by listening to adult birds. This is especially true for songbirds, who spend their first few weeks of life listening to and practicing the songs of their species. Interestingly, some birds are even capable of mimicry. These copycat birds, like parrots and mynas, can imitate the sounds of other birds, animals, and even human speech. Imagine having a bird that can say hello or sing your favorite song. But remember, just because a bird can mimic a sound doesn't mean it understands it. Birds don't have the same understanding of language as we do. Their communication is more about conveying basic information like "I'm here" or "watch out." In a nutshell, bird songs are a fascinating form of communication. They are a bird's way of expressing itself, whether it's to attract a mate, mark territory, or warn others of danger. They're a testament to the complexity of nature and the amazing abilities of our feathered friends. So the next time you hear a bird singing, remember, it's not just a song, it's a conversation. Each chirp, tweet, and warble is a message full of meaning and purpose. So, let's take a moment to appreciate the beautiful symphony of bird songs that surround us every day. After all, it's not just music to our ears, but a complex language that speaks volumes about the world of birds. Have you ever wondered about the people who make rules in your town, your state, and even your country? They're part of different levels of government. Let's start with a simple question. What is a government? In the most basic sense, a government is a group of people who make decisions and rules that everyone in a certain area has to follow. These rules help keep everyone safe, healthy, and happy. Now, when we talk about different levels of government, we're looking at how these rule makers are organized. Just like how you have different teachers for different subjects at school, we have different levels of government for different areas and responsibilities. Firstly, we have the local government. This is like your classroom teacher. The local government takes care of things that are close to home, like your neighborhood or town. They're the ones who decide where to build new parks, schools, and libraries, and they also make sure that the trash is picked up and the streets are clean. Let's imagine your local government as a big, friendly giant who keeps an eye on your town, making sure that everything is in order and everyone is safe. Now, let's travel a bit further and reach the state government. If the local government is like your classroom teacher, then the state government is like your school principal. They have a bigger area to look after, the whole state. The state government takes care of bigger things like highways, state parks, and colleges. They also make rules about things like driving and education. So when you see workers fixing a highway or building a new college, that's the state government at work. Imagine the state government as a wise owl soaring high above, looking after the entire state, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Now, you might be thinking, why can't we just have one big government for everything? Well, having different levels of government allows each group to focus on what they're best at. It's like having a team, where each player has their own position and role. This way, we can make sure that everything from your local park to the state highway is taken care of by someone who knows what they're doing. So, from your local town council, making sure your local library has the latest books, to the state government ensuring that highways are safe for travel, these different levels of government are working hard to keep everything running smoothly. In a nutshell, our lives are influenced by these different levels of government every day, whether we realize it or not. They're like invisible superheroes, constantly working to keep our communities safe, clean, and happy. So, different levels of government work together to keep our communities running smoothly. Lastly, let's talk about fairness in trading. When you trade your toys with your friends, you want it to be fair, right? It's the same with grown-ups trading things too. Imagine you're playing with your favorite toy car, and your friend has a toy robot. You both decide to swap toys for a day. This is a simple example of economic exchange. It's just a fancy term for trading or swapping things. But let's say you know that your toy car is brand new and shiny, while your friend's robot is old and a bit broken. If you still decide to swap, that wouldn't feel fair, would it? You'd probably feel a bit unhappy or maybe even upset. This is why fairness is so important when we trade things. Now let's think about this in a more grown-up way. Let's say instead of toys, we're talking about apples and oranges. If you have a basket of fresh, juicy apples and want to trade them for a bag of oranges, you'd want the oranges to be just as fresh and juicy, right? You wouldn't want to trade your apples for old, squishy oranges. That wouldn't be fair. This fairness in trading is what economists, the people who study how we use and trade things, call a fair economic exchange. It's all about making sure that everyone involved in the trade feels happy with what they're giving and what they're getting. Now let's think about when you go to a store to buy a toy. You give the store some money, and in return they give you the toy. This is another form of economic exchange. But what happens if the store charges too much for the toy? You'd probably think it's not fair and decide not to buy it. On the other hand, if the store charges too little for the toy, they might not make enough money to keep the store open or to pay the people who work there. That wouldn't be fair to the store. So, the price of the toy needs to be fair for both you and the store. Sometimes, figuring out what's fair can be tricky. But remember, the goal of a fair economic exchange is to make sure everyone feels happy with the trade. Just like when you and your friend decide to swap toys, you both want to feel like you're getting something good in return. Economic exchange is a big part of how the world works. It happens every day, everywhere, whether we're trading toys, buying groceries, or even swapping books at school. And fairness in these exchanges is what keeps everyone feeling happy and wanting to trade more in the future. So, fairness in economic exchanges ensures that everyone feels happy with the trade, just like when you swap toys with your friends. Wow, we've learned so much today, haven't we? From protecting our environment to understanding bird songs and government levels, and even trading fairly. Let's take a quick flashback. We started with understanding why we need laws to protect our environment. We learned that these laws are like rules in a game that help us keep our beautiful planet clean and safe for all living creatures. Just like how we tidy up our rooms, we need to take care of our Earth too. Then, we embarked on a fascinating journey with migrating animals. These amazing creatures travel long distances, just like you on a family road trip, to find food, a new home, or even to avoid the cold. And they use the sun, stars, and even the Earth's magnetic field as their compass. Now, isn't that clever? We also spent some time in the fabulous world of birds and their songs. Each bird has its unique tune, like your favorite song. They use these songs to chat with each other, say hello, warn about danger, or even to impress a mate. Next time you hear a bird singing, remember it's not just a song, it's a conversation. And then we discovered the different levels of government, from local to state. Just like how different teachers handle different subjects at school, different levels of government take care of different aspects of our lives. They make sure everything runs smoothly and fairly for everyone. Speaking of fairness, we also explored why it's so important in economic exchanges. It's like trading your toys with your friends. Everyone should be happy with what they get, right? That's what fairness in economy is all about. Thank you for joining this journey of discovery. Remember, learning is an adventure. Good night, families, until next time.
Hello, beautiful families out there. We hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to embark on a thrilling journey of discovery, exploring some of the fascinating wonders that surround us. We'll dive into the world of small businesses, learning why some folks prefer to shop at these cozy corners of our communities. We'll also unravel the mystery of why governments sometimes place economic sanctions against other countries. Next, we'll venture into the digital realm and discuss why people choose to invest in cryptocurrencies. Then, we'll switch gears and immerse ourselves in nature, exploring the reasons behind the diversity of our planet's trees and flowers. Lastly, we'll zoom into the fast-paced world of emergency transportation, like ambulances, and discover why we have different forms of these life-saving vehicles. Each topic is a new adventure, teeming with fascinating facts and insights. Are you ready to start our journey of discovery? Here we go! You know how some of us love to visit the little store around the corner instead of the big malls? Let's talk about why. Picture this, a cozy little shop tucked away in your neighborhood. Whenever you walk in, the friendly shop owner greets you with a warm smile, and they know your name. That's the charm of small businesses. They're not just about buying and selling items, they're about creating a community, a place where you feel welcomed and valued. And it's not just about the warm, fuzzy feelings. Small businesses often have unique items that you won't find in bigger stores. Maybe it's a handmade wooden toy that your little sister would adore, or a delicious home-baked pie that tastes just like Grandma's. These special finds make shopping at small businesses a little bit like a treasure hunt, don't they? But there's more to it than just that. By shopping at small businesses, we're supporting our neighbors and our community. Each purchase helps the shop owner pay their bills, support their family, and continue to provide their unique goods and services. It's a way of saying, hey, we appreciate you and we want you to stick around. And then there's the experience. Shopping at a small business is often a more personal and enjoyable experience than shopping at a larger store. You can ask questions, get recommendations, and sometimes even negotiate prices. It's not just about getting what you need, it's about enjoying the process of shopping itself. But what about the prices, you may ask? Well, while it's true that some things might be a bit more expensive at a small business, remember that you're paying for quality, uniqueness, and a better shopping experience. Plus, the money you spend stays in your community, helping it to grow and thrive. So next time you need to buy something, why not consider visiting that little shop around the corner? You might just find a hidden treasure, make a new friend, and do something good for your community all at once. So, small businesses can be pretty cool, right? They're like hidden gems in our neighborhoods. Now, let's talk about something a bit different. Have you ever seen kids in a playground not sharing their toys because they're upset with each other? Similar situations sometimes happen between countries too. This is what we call economic sanctions. In the simplest terms, economic sanctions are like a big time out that one country gives to another. It's a way for countries to show that they are not happy with something the other country is doing. Just like when you're upset with a friend, you might choose not to share your toys or play with them until they apologize or change their behavior. So, how do these timeouts work between countries? Well, imagine if you have a really cool toy, let's say a super cool rocket ship, that everyone wants to play with. Now, imagine if one of your friends does something that upsets you. To show them that you're not happy, you might decide not to let them play with your rocket ship anymore. In the world of countries, these toys can be things like oil, technology, or even money. When one country is upset with another, they might stop sharing these things. They might also tell their friends, other countries, to do the same. Let's look at an example. Imagine two countries, Fruitland and Veggieland. Fruitland has lots of delicious fruits that everyone wants, especially Veggieland. But one day, Fruitland gets upset with Veggieland because Veggieland won't share its vegetables. So, Fruitland decides to stop sharing its fruits. This is a big deal for Veggieland because they love Fruitland's fruits. Now, they have to figure out how to make Fruitland happy again so they can get those delicious fruits back. But economic sanctions aren't just about making someone feel left out. They're also a way for countries to resolve their disagreements without resorting to more serious actions, like fighting. It's like saying, I'm upset with you, but I don't want to fight. let's figure this out. Sometimes, economic sanctions work, and the country changes its behavior. Other times, they can make things more complicated. But just like in the playground, it's a tool that countries use to try to solve their problems. So, to sum it all up, economic sanctions are just like a big timeout for countries. They are a way for countries to show they're not happy with something another country is doing. And just like in the playground, the goal is always to find a way to make up and play nicely again. And remember, just like with your friends, it's always best to try to understand each other and work things out peacefully. So, economic sanctions are like a timeout for countries, a way for them to show they're not happy with something. From countries not sharing toys, let's move on to something exciting. Have you ever heard of digital money? Let's find out why people love it. Okay, so imagine you're playing a video game and there's a super cool item you want to get, like a magic sword or a rare pet. But to get this item, you need to have the game's special coins, right? Well, cryptocurrencies are kind of like those game coins. But for the real world, they are a type of digital or virtual currency, which means they exist online, just like your game coins. And just like you can use your game coins to buy cool items in your game, people can use cryptocurrencies to buy things in real life or invest them to make more money. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone want to use these digital coins instead of regular money? Well, there are a few reasons. One, cryptocurrencies are global. That means you can use them anywhere in the world without having to worry about exchanging them for local money. It's kind of like having a universal game coin that works in all your favorite games. Neat, right? Two, cryptocurrencies are decentralized. This is a big word that basically means no single person, company, or government controls them. Imagine if your game coins were controlled by all the players in the game, not just the game creators. That's what decentralized means. 3. Some people believe that cryptocurrencies are the future of money. Kind of like how video games have evolved from simple arcade games to the amazing graphics and stories we have now, these people believe that money is also evolving and cryptocurrencies are the next step. So they invest in them, hoping that their value will go up over time, just like how rare game items can become more valuable over time. But just like in a game, investing in cryptocurrencies can be risky. The value of cryptocurrencies can go up and down a lot, kind of like a roller coaster ride. And just like you wouldn't ride a roller coaster without knowing what you're getting into, it's important to understand cryptocurrencies before you decide to invest in them. Also, remember how we said cryptocurrencies are decentralized? That means they're not insured or guaranteed by any government or company. So, if you lose your cryptocurrencies, there's no one who can give you your money back. It's kind of like losing a rare game item. Once it's gone, it's gone. So, cryptocurrencies are like digital treasure chests, aren't they? Exciting and a bit mysterious. But just like in a game, it's important to play safe. So if you ever decide to venture into the world of cryptocurrencies when you're older, remember to do your research and understand what you're getting into. After all, knowledge is the greatest treasure of all. Now, let's step outside and look around. Have you ever wondered why we have so many different types of trees and flowers? Let's find out. Just like we have different flavors of ice cream to enjoy, nature has its own unique way of creating variety. This is called biodiversity. Isn't that a big word? It simply means the variety of life on Earth, including all the different types of trees and flowers we see. Think about how you can choose between chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and so many other flavors when you get ice cream. It would be quite boring if there was only one flavor, wouldn't it? Similarly, nature loves variety. It's like a big, beautiful ice cream shop with endless flavors. Each type of tree and flower has its own unique characteristics. Some trees, like the mighty oak, grow really tall and have strong, sturdy branches. Some trees, like the willow, have long, droopy branches that sway in the wind. Flowers, too, come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Some are small and delicate, like the forget-me-nots, while others are big and bold, like sunflowers. These trees and flowers don't just make our world beautiful, they also have important jobs to do. Trees give us shade on a sunny day, they provide homes for animals, and they even help us breathe by producing oxygen. Flowers, on the other hand, attract bees and butterflies that help pollinate them, which means helping them make seeds to grow new plants. And just like each of us has a favorite ice cream flavor, different animals and insects have their favorite types of trees and flowers too. Some birds love to build their nests in tall trees, while some insects prefer certain flowers. So, just like we love having different flavors of ice cream, nature loves having different types of trees and flowers. Isn't that wonderful? Lastly, have you ever seen those big, loud vehicles with flashing lights? Let's discover why they're so important. Just like in our favorite superhero stories, in real life too, there are moments when we need quick help. In these situations, special vehicles come to our rescue. There are real-life superheroes. These include ambulances, fire trucks, police cars, and even helicopters. Let's start with ambulances. These are like hospitals on wheels. If someone gets hurt or suddenly falls ill, an ambulance rushes to them with medical professionals on board. They can start giving treatments even before reaching the hospital. It's like having a superhero doctor who can come to your home. Then we have fire trucks. Imagine a superhero who can control water and put out fires. That's what fire trucks do. They carry a team of firefighters and a lot of water to put out fires. They can reach tall buildings with their long ladders and save people stuck in high places. Next, let's talk about police cars. They're like superheroes who maintain peace and order. If someone is in danger or if there's a crime, police cars rush to the scene. The officers can help people in trouble, catch the bad guys, and make sure everyone is safe. Now, what about those situations when the roads are too crowded or a place is too far to reach quickly? That's when we call in our flying superheroes, the helicopters. They're often used in emergencies to reach places that are hard to get to by land. For example, if someone is hurt on a mountain, a helicopter can fly straight there and take the person to the hospital quickly. These emergency vehicles have some special features that help them do their job. You must have noticed the loud sirens and flashing lights. These signals let everyone know that these vehicles are coming, and they need to get to the scene quickly. This way, other vehicles can make way for them to pass. Sometimes these vehicles might seem scary with their loud noise and fast speed, but remember, they're here to help. They're like our real-life superheroes, always ready to assist us when we're in need. And just like our superheroes have their superpowers, these vehicles have their special abilities too. Ambulances can provide medical help on the go, fire trucks can put out fires, police cars can maintain peace, and helicopters can reach places no other vehicle can. And the people who drive these vehicles, they're our everyday heroes. They're trained to handle these powerful machines and to help us in emergencies. They work day and night, always ready to come to our aid. So these vehicles are like our real-life superheroes, always ready to help us when we need them. How cool is that? Wow, we've learned so much today, haven't we? We've discovered why some people love to support small businesses, and it's not just because they sell unique things, but also because they help build strong communities. We've also explored the complex world of economic sanctions and how governments use them as a tool to maintain peace and fairness. Then we took a dive into the exciting world of cryptocurrencies and learned how people invest in them for potential big gains. We also talked about the amazing diversity of trees and flowers and how each one has a special role to play in our ecosystem. And finally, we zoomed into the fast-paced world of emergency transportation, understanding why we have different vehicles like ambulances to keep us safe during emergencies. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey of discovery. Good night, beautiful families. Sweet dreams.